it's there now. It's right through your body, whatever your body is. We don't know what the body is. Once you're out of the mirror, you don't know what your body is. It's just a seeming place, this consciousness that's available to you. And so the light of consciousness is what we bring to bear on the past. Now, it's no good trying to bring it to bear really on the thought process, to try to stop thinking. It's all very well to try to stop thinking, but you can't try to stop thinking. That is aimless and aimless thought, which all our minds go on with until they don't. It's no good really trying to stop thinking. The thing is to quieten the emotions, because emotions are the force behind all thought. As I've said, in your own experience, when you're emotional, the thought races to try to find solutions, to try to work it out. That comes from your emotions. So if you want to stop thinking or diminish thinking, you have to quell the emotions, the churning of the emotions, and that is done by the light of consciousness, which is what's looking out at the speaker now. So where does the ignorance appear in me? It appears in the stomach first. All emotion appears in the stomach. Now, isn't that a godsend to be able to know where emotion exists, first of all, in the stomach? No mistake about that. If you're emotional, you have to have a look at your stomach, and you'll see that's churning, that's tight, that's heavy, that's something that you can identify or register as something not very good, or that you don't really want there because it's tension. Now, that emotion, when it comes up in your stomach, of course, it's not always there, because it comes up from the deep subconscious, deep inside the body. All our pains and hurts of yesterday, they're not always there, manifested in the body here. They're deep down in the subconscious, where they're not available to us to register. So it seems as though everything's all right. Then as soon as we hit a difficult or emotional situation, it triggers the emotions in the subconscious, and up they come, and we get it in the stomach. Now, if we don't contain it in the stomach, which you do by the light of consciousness, you know, the power of the Eastern Third Eye, the power of the great light of God that you see on the front of their magazines and things. No more bullshit, please. It is your own consciousness that you are looking at the speaker now with, and listening to the speaker without anything inside of you apart from that purity. You can put that into the stomach area. If you have an emotion, you can put that consciousness on it. Very simply. You see, it's an inner power, and it's utterly available to you. Your sense of sight and your sense of hearing are external, and the consciousness is in those. But the real consciousness, the power of the consciousness, is within, and you can put it on any emotion at any time, and that emotion will appear in your stomach first. And then you put the consciousness on it. Now that's your God-given power. You know, the spiritual life. What is the spiritual life about? Saying mantras, for God's sake. There's no stillness in mantras. It just hypnotizes the mind, and the mind goes into a sort of an hypnotic state. and you call it peace or something. But you're not conscious. The whole thing is about being conscious and having the power of consciousness. And it's very simple. Now, if you are not registering in the first instance the emotion in your stomach, it is then likely to creep up into the chest. And you get a band across the chest. And you might get a band across the chest every morning or every second morning. Or whenever you phone up your mother or something, you get a band across the chest. Now that should not be up in your chest. It means that you're not working properly. You should be working to get that band of tightness in the chest down to the stomach. You do that by surrender. Are you listening to me? Are you hearing me, please? Because this is not bullshit. This is reality I'm talking about in existence. How we do it. How it can be done without any wishing and wanting. So it is not good to have a band across the chest. It's better to have that, to make it let go, that it's got nothing to hold on to. Because I give up. I'm not going to hang on to identify with my tension, which keeps the band there, the band of ignorance, the band of emotion. It can only stay there if I identify with it and hold on to my chest or my body like this subconsciously. So what I have to learn to do is to give up. Now, this moment, particularly when you're having the argument. Are you hearing me, please? There's no good giving up 5 minutes after you've had the argument. That's not how it's done. That's delusion. You give up the argument at the time of the argument with another. You give it up. Then you don't make this emotion, you don't give it the power to continue to rise, because if you allow it to continue to rise, it'll go up to your throat. You won't be able to talk so well because of the emotion in your throat, and then it'll go up into your brain. And then you won't be able to stop thinking, do you? So the true way, the real way for us people in existence is to get that emotion down to where it's supposed to be, in the stomach. And to put the light of consciousness, which you have, which you're looking at the speaker with now, just so that we know what it is. It's got nothing in it. You could call it intelligence if you liked. But what is it? You don't know. But it is enabling you to see and to hear. And that's an outer use of it. The senses use the consciousness, which comes from the pure intellect, of course.